Hi. I'm not 100% sure why it's so zoomed in, but my name is Chelsea Rose and I am going live today on Simi Cakes. Thank you so much, Sydney and Michelle and family, for this opportunity to do this live. Let me try and zoom it out. It is so zoomed in. Um, but let me know if you can hear me. I am going to be doing some lollipop demos today with some cool techniques. Hi, Donna. Welcome. And I just want to see if I can get it to flip correctly when I am down on the workspace. And if you can hear my kids, I will have them go to a different room. I'm using a headphone, so hopefully it's not as loud. Okay. Okay, great. Yay. Hi, Sydney. Cool. It's really zoomed in. But hey, Marissa. Okay, let me just get my iPad going. I just realized it's not going, so I might get really close to the screen for a second because it's behind it. I'll try not to be so in everyone's face. Hey, Tahisha. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to be using these really cool scissors that are kind of like a traditional Japanese tool for kind of more for sewing. You see them more in sewing. They're spring. They're spring style. Let's see, where am I at on this live? I'm glad it's working so far. Where is That's my like wall of all of the things crazy. My little Simi Torch Team pins up on that apron, plus so much stuff for baking. Don't forget to share, like Sydney's just reminded everybody, and Michelle's just reminded everybody. Can I find my live? There it is. Oh wow, so zoomed in. Yeah, I can't make that any farther away, I don't think. Okay, so I sort of have an example, but it got destroyed. This is one of my pieces that I entered into the color splash, not color splash, the competition, the sugar art competition that just happened. And it's a fish. It was clear. I didn't spray it, so it got cloudy. Um, but it's all formed on the stick. And so we'll try and do a version of this today. It used to have a second tail here, obviously, and a smaller fin. And then it was painted all with the Color Splash Simi's airbrush colors. Here, let's get our comments up there. Good. And I might start, we'll see. I'll flip it down and try and get it the right side up. My glove is too big, so it might get frustrating later, but that's one of our safety precautions. Thanks, Marissa. I love that thing. I also did an octopus, but it definitely shattered a lot. So unfortunately, the octopus looked way cooler before it fell on the ground. My kids, they didn't see the case of them. So too bad. Okay, let's check my Isomalt. I already melted my Isomalt. I did, oh good. It should be set up enough to actually just go jump straight in and work. Um, but I used Simi's clear tiles and it was 30 seconds and then 15-second intervals afterwards. And then this has been sitting for probably 5 minutes where it's kind of like a really slow molasses, but it is still warm on the base. Um, this is just a silicone baking tin from Daiso. I happen to live in Japan. Sorry, that's pretty important information. Hello, I live in Japan. I'm a Navy spouse, and we live on a Navy base in around Yokosuka, Japan. So it is 8 in the morning for me here, 8:05, and My kids, you might hear them in the background, but I let them go ahead and use some tablet time this morning so that we could get this going. But this should be workable. I might have to put it in. So let's turn you guys down. All right. I'm gonna try and flip it potentially. And let's put y'all in place here. Let me know if that's gonna keep syncing. I hope it's not. Where are we at here? I have like the longest. I'll just shift everything forward. Ah, come on. Look, pin. Yeah, so it's almost too hard, but it should be great still. We'll just go for it. Because really, if it's too soft, you can't mold with it, and it gets stuck to your gloves. So I will stick this back in the microwave just in case I need to reheat it. And the clearer version of these lollipops, you have to do without stirring or without adding much of anything to it. This may actually still be too soft, and I might not have grabbed enough, but we'll start from there. So a way that I let it cool down just a little bit so I can still work with it is similar to if anyone has used their air pump, but you get it on there and then you pinch it and you just let it kind of cool just a little bit more on the mat. This type of lollipop creation stems from ancient, like hundreds and hundreds of years of technique, but a lot of times they would use a small reed in Asia, like in China and in Japan, to then blow up the interior, exactly similar to when we use the air pumps with the Isomalt. However, for this piece, we won't be using a reed because that practice has been pretty much defunct. It gets a little bit questionable on sanitation. So I'm just trying to get this ball a good texture and temperature so that it won't keep falling over. I do have a small fan here that I may have to use. Just a little bit. Okay. Do we have any? Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm going to smush it out this way. And this is just to form it, a little pre-forming of the shape. And then I want a really nice, beautiful tail. So I'm going to smush it. And this Isomalt is still warm, but I can manage it and manipulate it with my fingers in the gloves. And as long as it's not too hot, it won't stick to the gloves. The masters tend to use their fingers. And I need the fan. I'm going to try to set this a little bit. It's a little warm to work with. We're going to go for a fish right now, but I will take suggestions and see what we can do to come up with some other designs in a little bit. The traditional art form didn't usually use Isomalt. It used a mixture of different syrups. In Japan specifically, they used kind of like a rice-based syrup. This one's called amezaiku, this art form. Ame is like sweets. And I don't have incredible practice with it, but I've done it about enough times that I like it a lot. Come on, little guy. This one's tail's so big on the back. It looks crazy pants right now, doesn't it? Clear might not have been the best choice for video. We can melt some more Isomalt if you want to see some differences. Come on, bring it back in. I'm trying to smush them together. It's got a lot of form, for sure. Movement. This wants to be a bunny, kind of. I'm kind of seeing bunny out of this guy. He's still very hot. Oh, we can see it in the clear. Okay, great. And then get a little fin on this side. We need more fan action. Oh, sorry. Where am I at? I have this yellow mat out in case I needed to pull some for some clear, for some opaque color. Okay. I don't want to just fan it myself. It's hot over here. Oh, did I do it too long on that side? It's such a pretty fin. I kind of want it to fly, not fly, swim. Move your hands toward myself. This way. I feel like oop. Perfect. So this one fin is not liking me because I made it too sharp. Okay. But we can round it out with the torch. We can still use the torch with this. I don't want it swimming up. Do I want it to swim up? That's a good question. I love it. If I was really skilled, I'd give it its eyes. Maybe I will still. You only have, with Isomalt, you have longer to work with it than with the other sugar mixtures, which is awesome. Here, I kind of feel like we might have to stop here for this guy and give him the rest of his details. Here, can you see him? Myself. Oh, because it's upside down. Okay, let me see if I can get it flipped real quick. Nope, that was not it. That will not be helpful. That's my ceiling. Sorry, everyone. Let's flip it. And there we go. Well, now we're not zoomed in. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the clarity is crazy. If you don't stir it or pull it at all, you just go for it. There you go. Sorry for the last few minutes being way zoomed in. But such is fine. Little lips. I could have given it eyes, but we're not going to today. Look at that. Could have made a little bit more delicate fins, but they were flipping out. This is a little bit koi inspired. Fantasy fish. It's a fantasy fish. Okay, I think it's set enough, but I don't want it to slouch. Thanks, Dehisha. I think my major warning thing with this would be that you kind of feel like I did, that you should work with it when it's too hot, and then it's a little dangerous, and it's messy. But otherwise, it's so fun. You just play with it like it is what it is, a moldable medium. All right, little fishy. I'm going to set you to the side. Do we have any suggestions? Should I try and do an octopus with you guys? Show you how we kind of do that? That's good. Oh, I should have brought foam over. Okay, octopus then. I'll leave him dangling. That seems unsafe, but it'll be fine. Let's see if when they bring, so this is like a street art a lot of the times. Let me tell my kids to be a little quieter. Hey, boys. Carl, a little quieter, okay, to your brother? Thank you. The outsides of this, I would say, are too hard, but we're going to grab from the center. Because like you saw before, I tend to work with it too hot. I've seen when they go on shows to do, like on street markets to do this art, they tend to have like a kind of like a crock pot of the mixture, which is awesome. You can see how the edges are getting too cold. Okay. Oh, I did not get another stick out. Okay, here we go. I'm using the paper sticks instead of plastic today, but both work fine. We should get, sorry, we should get more working time with this because it's a little bit of a bigger piece and it's a little colder already. The center was still quite rather warm. So our goal is 8 legs and a head. Oh, it's deceptively warm inside. This little tiny fan is just a tiny battery operated fan. This one happened to once again come from Daiso, I believe, or a different 100 yen shop here. But I think it was like $4 in US. Okay. I'm gonna form kind of a top blob for its head, shove down this bottom kind of tummy band so that I can make the legs. We're gonna divide. In half so that I kind of have an idea of what 4 should come from. I think the last time I made an octopus, I chose to not do that, and I ended up with like a 7-legged octopus. This is cold enough now that I would probably take the gloves off if I wasn't on video, and my kids think whatever they're watching is hilarious. I have 2 boys, a 6.5-year-old and a 2-year-old that's almost 3. Yeah, it reminds me of glassmaking a lot too. I agree with that. Kind of like those tiny glass characters that they make. The corners from each of these blobs has to kind of be forced back into the mass so that it doesn't stay pointy. And then we're trying to get a little more delicate. Come on, octopus. I'm going to need names for these guys. I know we love naming our creatures. Oops. Oh, see, that was close. I almost broke that guy. To the side. Thank you guys for coming and watching. I know we didn't warn much. I didn't warn you guys much that I was going to do this cool thing, but I'm so grateful to kind of hang out with you guys this morning. Okay, leggies, stay up. We've got 4. We're gonna add the torch just the tiniest bit to this blob that I'm trying to get the other 4 legs from. Octopus tend to have that like head that has the brain going back. At least that's what I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then let's pull those 4 a little bit. You need the other 4 legs. Okay, split this one in half because we're still trying to get to 8. We at least have 8. As long as they don't break, we've got 8. And if they do break, we'll put them back together. Or it can be like Hank, who only had 7 in Finding Dory. Nope, those guys are coming back together. We did go to one class where some artists taught us how to do a little bunny rabbit here in Tokyo. That was really cool. My son saw his today, and I was asking if we could eat them finally. And I was like, I guess so. It is his, after all. The white stick I don't love, but normally I do octopus in a darker color because they tend to, you tend to see their stick more because they have that head. Yes, awesome hearts. Thank you guys. Here, kind of give it some sort of a movement. Kind of get these, where we did the initial split of 4 to 4, try to get those legs like backed so they remember that they're friends. Yay. I like it when they like kind of wave. Okay, I'm gonna need to grab the fan again. Try to get these little leggies to stay put. My kids played with this one so many times we have to rubber band it shut, the fan. Super necessary in Japan's heat though. We could have given this one eyes or texture on the head. I think I need to just focus on keeping the legs set. Once each lollipop is done, the artists here in Japan tend to do just a few little details in color. Could be eyes. There's 2 different routes really. There's like eyes and a little face, or there's the whole full body wash of color. The airbrush colors from Simi cakes are really good for that because as long as you don't use any base white in it, oh, I'm so sorry. As long as you don't use any base white, then you have translucent colors, which is awesome. Okay, are we a little set? Might be pretty set. Should we do a third animal, or do we want to move on to poured molded lollipops? This is the part where it's really easy to break the limbs, which, because I'm just like fine-tuning their placement. It's okay. Lollipops. Thank you, Donna. I can do more. Can I do a rose? Normally when I do a rose, it's with like pulled petals. So I have like a rose type flower here. I haven't tried a rose yet with this technique. Ooh, rose. So yeah, this was my rose that I've done before. It's with like layered petals, more. That one's Isomalt was white to begin with, not clear. Let's see if I can probably do time for a rose in that general style. And then oh yeah, we should paint and pour. Okay. My little guys, let's try not to get them knocked over. Okay, where's my stuff? A clear rose would be kind of crazy. All right. Also, hi, Mama. Michelle's my mom. Michelle Rose is my mom. The other Michelle is Sydney's mom. Okay, we need 10 seconds here. When we do the other version, I do have the big or the little lollipop molds. I got these from Lorian Oils, but I think I saw, correct me if I'm wrong, on Sydney's site on Simi Cakes that these molds are easy to access there as well. When I'm doing sports snacks, I've been making lollipops for the kids. This is another fun option that I found on Watman is like a thrift store here. It's so cute. It says it's rated high enough temperature, so it would be great for silicone, or not silicone, it'd be great for Isomalt. It is a silicone mold. We can do some poured with that. What color should we do? I was thinking kind of a Halloween one because I did fondant skulls the other day, and I was kind of wanting to place them and see what happens because I haven't mixed the two too much. I did baseball bats on in fondant on one once. Okay. I might have gotten it too. Okay, I'm going to pull from the side, and I'm just going to do kind of a blob. Halloween! Okay, we'll melt some black. And put some skulls on top and use some sugar art. Sugar art! I brought wedding gold over, but we can just imagine it as more macabre. We will check the time. 9:30. Okay, I have a half hour, basically. Sticks. So right now I'm still operating under the concept of making like a quick rose. We'll see how it works. I think the best way to form this rose would be to build off petals. Hi, Leo. Well, did I miss anybody else? Oh, hi, Chloe. My sister. Sea-star. Alright, we'll try to push some design in. I'm trying to get the extra glove in. You guys have probably all done that. So I just split it. I'm going to twist this one. Kind of give it the spiral like a rose would have. This is probably what I should have done if I thought I was going to do, a rose to begin with. Tighter. Okay, so we already have a bud, basically. Let's get a little chilled. I should have time for some poured lollipops too after I do this. I'm going to do both hands. It's not too hot right now, but fingerprints usually you want to get them removed with your torch. And since these are going to be fine, you probably won't want to. Oh, sorry, not where you could see. Yes, please go ahead and follow my page, Rose Macarons. I'd love to do more display. Sorry, like too close to my face. Some more art for everybody. It's been a while. Still trying to get back into the swing of it with my kiddos. Here, so this is how I would make a rose lollipop with this kind of blending the two techniques of just doing a sugar rose and then doing it on a stick. I'll probably only go to 5 petals. Thanks, Mama. I want to pull that the other way. If the lollipop starts to get too like spinny, oh, you know what? 3 would make sense here, and then 5. If this is being too spinny, I will melt down more liquid isomalt and then shove it up the center later. Okay, now we'll go on to 5 petals. And I should get some isomalt melting. Where's my black? Need to go. Yeah. This is really mostly possible because Simi isomalt just melts down so clear. The pre-cooked and pre-tempered tiles are the absolute way to go to make this way easier. When I did it originally, I tried using like the sugars that are more traditional to use, and it was just frustrating. I didn't know what temperatures I needed to go to. I knew I shouldn't be mixing it too much if I wanted the clear look. If you don't want the clear look, you can stir. And that works too. Try not to get this too artichoke-y. Sorry, my children exist. But they are awesome and beautiful. Okay, I think we need 3 more if I'm counting correctly. You can. 1, 2, 3. 4 and 5 are going to be tight. That'll be fine. A glass rose, good. I'm going to give it a couple seconds since I shouldn't touch it after torching it. There we go. These are some more petals, and then this one needs to go here. I think this one would be fun to eat. It'd be really crunchy. This particular batch of isomalt hasn't been flavored, but we do often flavor them because I'm usually making lollipops for kids, and they don't. I mean, they like the flavor of sweet, but they like the flavor of other stuff better. My kid currently really likes any of the Japanese grape flavors or melon flavors. And melon is cantaloupe here, mostly. All right, get that fifth one in there. Make it a little bit more traditional of the numbering. Get my finger out. And then we have a rose. It's good. Paint some calyxes on it, maybe. A rose. Ta-da! Thanks, Tahisha. Let's find some black while you guys admire this rose and hopefully can't hear Elmo in the background too much. Where did the black go? There it is. We'll have to put the rose in with the octopus. Oh, we were gonna paint them. All right. We can still do that. So here's some more Simi Isomalt pre-cooked tiles in, this is black or cat's eye. Oh, this is, I think this is cat's eye. And I love this color, so I'm only going to demo a couple because I have, actually, you know what? Lollipops keep. It'll be great. It'll be great. So we're going to melt those down by using 30 seconds and then 15-second intervals, and we are going to have to grease our molds just a little bit. Our fondant creations here have been hanging out for a little while. They've been getting a little bit firm, easy to work with. This particular version is with satin ice. Darn, I knew I was going to do that. Fondant, but I've been using other versions of fondant too recently, including the Flex Frost. Where's the arm? All right, we just broke a leg, so let's do a quick octopusectomy. And I will attempt not to knock it over again. There we go. Easy peasy to repair. Just torch both sides. There we go. Fixed. Fixed. Anyways, I love these skulls, and I think we're going to put them on the smaller lollipops because the smaller lollipops are delicious. They're more manageable than the large ones. Let it go. Thank you. I will want to spray these to keep them clean once they're painted with the PME edible glaze spray, but not in front of any of my electronics or any of my other more precious work surfaces. It definitely does not come off afterwards. I can take my glove off now because I basically won't be touching Isomalt anymore. Just do a quick in the corners of these hard molds. Okay. Yummy. He just finished his cereal finally. Milk, yummy. Okay, I tend to put the stick in afterwards, actually. And more time. Not those. You see that? I'll just do 3. Now, 4. Can't stop myself. Okay, let's check our Isomalt. Needs a little bit more time. You're wet? Use the towel, buddy. Okay. Our gold, I want to put on before we put our pieces on the Isomalt, because I don't think I want to paint. I'm just going to do a dry dust for these guys instead of mixing it with anything. Adding a darker shadow inside the eyes would have also been really smart. But I think I need to get my kid a napkin. Hey, Carl, come here, please. I need you to help me with your brother, please. Can you give him this paper towel? Yep, yep, it's for you. Thank you, Carl. All right, I'm going to do a fourth one right here.
Yeah, I have this to wipe up the mess.
Just to settle while we were waiting for those things to dry, or to melt. Melt. Good job, buddy. You can throw it away if you're done. Okay. Let's check. Okay, so this looks good to me. It was boiling more heavily before I let it sit in the microwave for a while, but it will pour out great. I'm going to let some of the bubbles rise to the top before we pour it into the mold, which gives us a little bit of time to paint one of our molded lollipops. Do we want to do fish, octopus, or rose? Hi, Michelle. Mom Michelle, too. You're doing good, Xander. Rose. Okay, let's see it. Thanks, Tahisha, for having a vote. And the octopus is trying to get in there, too. Ah, so many choices. So my Simi color splash I keep in this bin. What is it, honey? You're doing great. You can take your tablet. Take your tablet back to the couch. Okay. And I love them. I'm going to... We're doing red rose. Be real traditional. Go with red. And my dilution solution is at the bottom. That'll help my very vibrant red be a little muted. We'll move pretty fast so that we have time. We have our timing right. Okay. I won't add a metallic to this because you'll be really just amused to see how this works. Okay, here's our rose. Let's move. Well, we're already set up, so I can't really move that, but yeah, let's see how we go. Kind of want two colors. Let's get a little bit of blue going. Make a bit of a purple. What is it, honey? It's too loud? Turn it down, honey. I'll make brown. Let's see. I did make brown. I usually need to use white. That makes sense. Okay, so this one is going to be nice and moody, like our other piece is going to be with the skulls. Yes, buddy? Loud. Yeah, that was loud. There we go. Moody Rose. Here we go. And then I need to clean that brush up. Sometimes color like this needs the opacity behind it when they're all totally see-through pieces like it is. But it should look pretty cool regardless. And I can also go through with just the dilution solution and kind of thin out any place where the color got too strong. Hey Carl, Xander, the volume's too loud, honey. Hey Carl, can you please turn Xander's volume down? You gotta turn your volume down. You gotta turn it down. Oh, well, we're getting some red on our mat. That's all right. We're working a little messy. Thank you guys for turning the volume down. Yeah, that's true. Strong color would be perfect for a moody rose. I kind of love this. Okay, here. I don't know if it'll. Right, yeah. He's found Paw Patrol. Okay, I'll stop messing with that. It's amazing. I love this inspiration. You guys are so fun. So fun. Like a whole bouquet of those would be really epic. Let me know you guys can still hear me. My earbud is trying to tell me it's wanting to fall asleep. Okay, this is going to be perfect for these now. So we just pour it in. And I do a light amount first and then shove the sticks in. And then I'm actually going to do, depending on if I did too much or too little. Yeah, this one's going to get a little more. Okay, good. I'm glad the volume's still working. Yay. I do think it might be dead by the time we are done with the live, but we only have like 10 minutes left anyways, so should be fine. I don't love using the plastic sticks, but I am in this instance for half of these, but that'll be okay. The Isomalt with the color in it already does have the ability to like keep the metallic in a swirl if you mess with it and make a design in the swirl. But it's pretty subtle, so even when I have done that in the past, it's not completely like necessary to add extra swirls of the metallic. Let's see. Torch. I see a little bit of a bubble. Has to be really quick on this because of the plastic form. Okay, while we wait for those to chill a little, actually we won't, we'll just sit these on. If I had my tweezers, I would have used, oh here they are. Naturally, here are the tweezers. Everybody has tweezers. You could do this either way. You could either put it on now when it's not quite done melting and see how far in it'll sink, which is a fun look. Or you can wait a little longer because this one's about to sink in. Maybe too much. We're gonna wait a little longer for the rest to add the rest. But like, how fun and quick is this little project? I already did the mold with the skeletons, and then we just have the lollipops we put in. octopus. Let's do maybe like a teal. What kinds of things have you had your most favorite experience with Isomalt with, or what do you like in general with your sweets? Do we have bakers on here as well as sugar artists? Oh, here, I'll put it in the screen. Yeah, definitely go back. The live will be saved and easy to replay and watch. The octopus was the second creation that we created. The first was a fish. I'm trying to get the color on the inside here so that it kind of shows through the glass. Or not glass. You guys know what I mean. Shows through the isomalt. Oh man. It does look like glass though. Oh, that's awesome. Jellyfish are so cool. So that's like a really fun way to kind of give them some texture. Luminescence, I would say. I think our rest of our... I might stop there for a minute, actually.
Yummy milk.
Yummy milk. I think my kid is still having some of his... Ah, do not touch that. Okay, cool. Didn't want the red. And if the creations that we just made touch, they will fuse together, most likely. So I've had a really fun time making these things with you guys today. Thank you so much, Sydney and Michelle, for letting me be on here, or just Simi Cakes in general, the whole fam. Can't get this thing picked up. Okay. This top one, I'm gonna put the skull on when we pop them out. I don't love how thick the stick is and how it's staying on there. Is this one gonna stay? Nope. Okay, so I can show you how to get it to stick when it doesn't, when it's not melted. Thank you, Sydney. Oh, thank you, Tahisha. Thank you. Yeah, this one is just a mold that's not good for isomalt. We'll say it was one of the other styles of molds. Where's my... Need to grab some. Okay, this has been so fun. So fun. Here we go. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. So if you have trouble getting your things to stick, just use a little bit of your melted isomalt back and then put the thing on. And then it'll fuse together perfectly fine. That's what I get for painting in the meantime. And then these two I would just pop out first. It will take probably, they're still pretty hot, so I would take probably another 10, 15 minutes, but they're basically done. I mean, if I wanted to add some more details onto the sides, we could, but this has been really, really fun. And with 5 minutes to spare, we almost broke our creations again. My goodness, I'm gonna go find some styrofoam. But we've done red moody rose, greeny tealish-ish octopus, and probably a koi that still needs a little bit of color for sure. This little type of fish, maybe it's more like a betta, a little bit more like a betta fish. All made with kind of like that amezaiku technique that's sort of an Asian inspired traditional art. And then these guys, because we got Halloween soon. So I've had so much fun. Thank you so much for being on and with me tonight. I've loved it. Just making sure I don't miss anything before I log off. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. Have a good night. We're going to have a good day over here in Japan. Bye. Oh, the other thing. I have to turn off on the other thing. Let me try and tilt you up because I can't figure out where the off button is. I am so sorry, guys. Finish. There it is. Thank you. Bye.